Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Art Nouveau. I hope I'm saying that right. Tarot by Matt Myers. Is that who it says there? Matt Myers. There you go. It's from 1989. So it's the oldest deck I think I have. I don't know. The Morgan Greer might be older. I'm not sure. Well, that's the oldest one I personally own. But anyway, moving on. The Supportive Oracle Cards, You Are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. So there's that stuff. Okay. What do we have for... I'm slipping off my chair for some reason. What do we have for Scorpio? It's a glare. Ooh. Somebody, you might get a really good offer. Let's get some clarifiers to that. That's it. That's it. Okay. Starting, I like where this is going, but we got to get there. So let's get there. Now, this is the energy it's starting off with. The Lovers with the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is usually like the pointless win, but in this deck it feels different to me. I feel like a desperation here. I feel like somebody's trying to make up to you. It could be a love thing. It could be. It doesn't have to be a romantic thing. So it could be like a family member or a coworker, even a friend who really wants you in their life, right? But something isn't hitting right, or maybe there's a misunderstanding. Something isn't right here. And when I'm getting this Five of Swords, I get like a desperation feel. I really do. That's not normally how I read the Five of Swords, but that's what I'm feeling. And I'm getting the other side, whoever you're dealing with is communicating to you that they're afraid you're going to get upset with them, or you're going to not want to be around them, or they're afraid that there's damage to this relationship. Could be romantic, doesn't have to be, could be anything else. But this is definitely somebody who means something to you. This is someone you like talking to, you like keeping them in your life. You know what I mean? They matter. To you, they matter. You know what that means. And I'm getting, they're showing you this appreciation to like, oh, you know, I think we've had a misunderstanding. Please don't be upset with me. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling. And you're like, we're fine. And I feel like that's your energy going back, like, hey, we're fine. Like, relax. Like, I feel like you weren't upset about anything. But they were afraid you were going to interpret something or take something a certain way. And they wanted to make sure you understand what really happened. Like, they're clarifying something. Ironically, what I think is happening is before it really becomes an issue, they're preemptively bringing it to your attention and explaining it before it's even an issue. And you're like, oh, okay, no, that's fine. I just have a feeling you weren't really centering on whatever they think was a problem, or it wasn't really bothering you that much. They're clearing it up, which makes you happy before it's even a problem. Happiness on your side, all is cool, all is well. I don't understand why, but they seem to be really concerned that you're going to take something the wrong way, and they want to clear it up before it's a problem. You're like, it's not a problem. We're good. We're fine. I feel like that's your energy. You're like, we're fine. We're good. I appreciate you bringing it to me before it's actually an issue. Great. We're cool. Everything's fine. Don't worry. This next card, the Kite, is really making me feel like there's something to do with communication going around. I don't know if it's rumor based or if it's something new coming into the situation. It says asking for help, I'll give you that. But that Kite is really making me feel like there's a lot going on in a community atmosphere. And there's information coming in, there's things or problems happening, not to you and not to this other person, but it seems to be like there's a possibility of it bleeding off into you or this other person. And I feel like you and this person have to stay in contact to make sure you understand what's going on in the environment. So if it's family, it could be a family issue that you have to keep an eye on, not happening directly to you or this other person, but you're afraid it might come in at some point. If it's work, especially if it's work, other people are having some type of hubbub some type of issue, and you got to keep on point between you and this person to, like, you keep a lookout for me, I'll keep a lookout for you. Let's make sure this doesn't bleed over onto us. Something like that. That's kind of the asking for help. Like, let's stay in control of this between us. You keep an eye out for me, I'll keep an eye out for you, and we'll see what we can do with this. That's how that feels to me. Community on your side is like trying to keep control of what's going on around you, in the sense of, like, let's have an air of discernment. There's a lot going around, a lot of people talking at this point. Nothing bad between you and this person again, but there's hubbub, there's weird energy. There's this need for you to be very careful about what you hear, and to really know when it's best to just walk away from something, and when it's best to quietly, carefully find out the truth. Because there's weird energy around. In the actual situation, the Ten of Wands with the Queen of Swords is telling me the Ten of Wands is a lot of success, but it's coming in with a lot of stress. Like, I've said this a lot lately, I feel. Like, to me, the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands are related. It's just, both of them have like almost the equal amount of stress. The Ten of Swords leads to failure. The Ten of Wands leads to success. It's just kind of going through a lot of stress, a lot of stress, a lot of stress. The Wands end up with success. The Swords end up with failure. That's what I'm getting from it. This one has success on it, but there's a heavy level of stress. And the Queen of Swords is telling me there's a lot of people saying very pointed or very biting things. Very, like, I'm seeing a lot of biting comments here where, it's kind of like when a dog yips at you and barks and tries to bite you. Maybe they don't really want to bite you. Maybe they're just trying to intimidate. But still, it's very unsettling when you have a dog, like, chomping their teeth at you. Even if they're not getting you, if they're getting close enough to try to, it's still unsettling. And I'm saying that as a dog lover. Like, if a dog's trying to do that, you realize they're trying to intimidate you. You don't want to give them reason to go any farther than that. So that's the energy you're dealing with. It's kind of like that snarling dog that maybe is trying to protect something. You don't want to cause problems for that dog, but you're realizing that you go a little farther and they might literally bite you. It's one of that thing. That's what you have to watch. Like, is this dog really going to bite? That's this community situation. Is this person really going to bite, or are they just threatening to? Do they feel threatened and feel the need to do that? And that's another reason why you and this other person have to keep an eye out. And you look out for me, I'll look out for you. Tell me what you hear, I'll tell you what I hear. Let's make sure this doesn't go crazy if it doesn't have to. Now, whatever this situation is where there's a hubbub, right? It kind of dissipates with no answers. Like, no answers. I feel like there's a lot of question about what really was the problem anyway. But on your side, you're kind of like, to find out what that problem was, there's a high chance you will reinvigorate, is that even right? Reanimate the problem. Is reinvigorate even a word? I don't know. Reanimate the problem. And you don't want to reanimate the problem. You're like, I don't need that. That's okay. That's okay. I don't need problems. It's not strong enough. It's not worth it to get in there to find out what it was about and possibly reanimate it. No, I'm good. You got the Ten of Cups on your side. Very good community connection. Everybody's happy. You're happy. You're getting along with people. People are getting along with you. There's no problem. We just stay away from that issue. It's not even my issue anyway. I feel like that's partly your stance on this. It's not even my issue anyway. So nope. I don't want it to be. And I don't want it to be. I'm getting that energy too. And I don't want it to be. So it's over there. We're all good. Everybody's happy. In the environment, the Knight of Swords with the World card is happening here. So whatever the problem was, it's getting moved on. Somebody is trying to push it on very forcefully. But whoever's trying to push on the situation, like, that's over, let it go, leave it alone. We don't need to keep drawing on about it. Leave it there. Let it go in the past. Whoever's pushing that forward is not the person who's trying to get that to really happen. That doesn't make sense. They're not the initiator. That's why it's the Knight. The King or the Queen, one of the royals, tells the knight, get that out of here. So the knight goes based on somebody else's orders and gets it out of there. That's what we're trying to say. Whoever you see saying, let that go in the past, leave that alone, let's let it be, it's not like it's their idea to do that. They're just basically carrying out somebody's orders is what I'm getting. That's kind of what that feels like. Like somebody else behind the scenes, like there's a stronger energy behind the scenes saying, listen, we need to shut that down. It needs to stop. It needs to be done. Enough is enough. End it. And if people are not willing to end it, you bring those people to me and we will deal with those people directly. So there's the need to move on the energy. You're cool with that anyway. You're like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with it anyway. There is a forceful energy trying to move it on, though. The Page of Coins is in the environment. People seem to be just kind of naturally following that. I feel like if this is allowed to just dissipate and move on, I feel like it just won't come back. I don't think it's going to come back. So, because I feel like part of Scorpio's energy is like, I don't want to be neglectful on something I'm going to have to deal with later. I don't want to be a fool and be like, I'll just let that not be an issue and just ignore it and move on from it. And then later it comes back and smacks me in the back of the head. I don't need that. So you don't want to be neglectful of something you think you're going to have to deal with later. But in this situation, I don't think you're going to have to deal with it. So you don't really want to have any part of it. And I don't think you're going to at any point, just to be fair. But they're making a point of this for some reason. Because as we go into the next situation, I feel like you're questioning if you really want to be a part of this situation going forward. There's something about this, wherever the hubbub was, there's a connection to this other person and the hubbub that's here. When this passes on, I feel like you're going to be involved in that more directly. So, in other words, if you're in Department A, Department C is the one that had the problem, right? And that's disappearing. Seems to be water under the bridge. People say, leave it alone, stay out of it. You're like, cool, don't want any part of it anyway. Not a problem. Later on, you have to work with Department C, or maybe you're going to move from Department A to Department C. And you're like, ooh, do I want to be a part of this? Because it seems like once in a while they have some pretty nasty problems. I don't think that's going to I don't think that's going to apply to you. Whatever the problem was, it's literally gone. It's done. Whatever that was its own situation, and that's not going to apply to you, is what they're saying. What is this? Is this Pentacles? Yes. Because I feel like whatever the situation was or the problem was, you're going into that later, after it's gone. I'm getting, there's a lot there for you, a lot of good things there for you. I feel like you're naturally going to fit into this very effortlessly with the Page of Staves, which is the Page of Rods, Page of Wands, whatever you want to call them. A lot of reward there for you, naturally fitting in without a problem. People get along with you extremely well. So they're saying, I think they're trying to give you a heads up, like you don't have anything to worry there. There's definitely going to be an element of control there. When I'm getting Kathumi, and I'm an intuitive reader, so you may know different with this person, but I'm seeing this person hold the world, and I feel like that's a control thing. And someone's saying, we're going to do things right, we're going to stay within the borders, we're going to do things the way they're meant to be done. That's what I'm feeling from this card. I'm getting like somebody is keeping control of this situation, and there's somebody else making all the big choices, not allowing other people to even find out why these choices are being made. Like, they're not only making the choices, they're keeping the information private, what's coming next and why choices are being made. They're not allowing people too much information, because if they give people too much information, that's when they've had problems before. So they're blocking information. I feel like I actually do feel that, which I don't think would match the normal meaning of that card. But I feel like that's to keep control, to keep the peace. Information is being stifled and blocked. And the situation is very lucrative and good for you, but I feel like that's the only thing I see being an issue for you in this new situation, because it's down the road a little bit before you get into it. is realizing like I'm feeling out in the cold. I'm feeling like I'm not getting all the information I need. Like, why can't I have answers to these questions? Why can't I know why we're doing this? Why can't I see where we're going next? Why won't you tell me this information? That's how they're controlling this area and keeping it from becoming a problem. Whoever's making the decisions and keeping control of it is simply not giving out that information. We're not saying why we're doing what we're doing. We're not saying what's coming next, because if nobody knows, there can't be problems. You're also, when you go into the situation, you're also subject to that. You're not going to get the information. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but I feel like if you know that's why, everybody's being treated the same, because everybody being treated the same keeps it from being a problem. That's why. There's a lot of rewards and benefits there for you. It's just the control of information like that does feel a little bit, it's unsettling. It's not, I don't feel like you like that, but I feel like if you understand why and what's going on and the problems that happened before, and this is how it's keeping the problems that happened before from coming back, if you at least understand that and see that, maybe that'll help you a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully that's a positive thing. But they're saying don't give up on this situation. It's a very good situation for you. Again, very positive rewards. You fit in very naturally. I just feel like it's that one little piece that it's just, you need to know what's going on in that sense. Like, this is why information is not being divvied out. Because you might be taking that like, oh, is it because I'm new here? Is it because I am not very well established here? Is that why nobody's telling me why decisions are being made and where we're going next? Is that why that's happening? No, everybody's being treated the same. I think that's what we're trying to... There we go. I finally spit it out. I think I finally got there. Because I feel like a little bit of release with that. So that's good. All right. That's what we got. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.